No rest for the Premier League boys, and there's plenty of goals to talk about, but who's come out on top, we'll tell you next. That's right, folks, back once again with another prediction video, this time looking forward to match day number 29 in the 2018-2019 Premier League season. We'll get to that in just 1 second. If you're new to the channel, smash your subscribe button to keep you bang up to date with all things Premier League related, Blackburn Rovers related, football related. We've got it all here under one roof. Now, before we take a look at match day number 29, we're going to take a look at match day number 28, boys and girls. And I'll tell you what, not too shabby in the old predictions. Let's take a look at it. Huddersfield up against Wolves. Kicked off the old midweek fixtures and end up being a 1-0 win to the surprise of many. I actually saw this as a 2-1 win in favour of Huddersfield. So I got that one pretty much close on the money, boys. Then it was Cardiff up against Everton. A bit of a banana skin, this one. Obviously, Cardiff, a bit of a rough season for them on and off the field. Ended up being a 3-0 win for Everton. I actually saw it as a 0-0 draw. So this is one of my very limited incorrect answers for this weekend, or this midweek. Leicester City took on Brighton. Obviously, new manager. I did make the predictions prior to all this, the chaos surrounding Leicester City this week. But ended up being a 2-1 win for Leicester City. I actually saw it as a 2-0 win regardless. I actually had this 2-0 win with Puel in charge, not Rodgers. But now that has put a different spin on things over at Leicester City. Now, Newcastle United took on them six-finger banjo playing weirdos. And they come out on top 2-0 win. Good result for that one, and I actually saw it as a 3-1 win as well in favour of Newcastle. Now, Southampton took on Fulham. This was a 6-pointer, boys and girls. 6-pointer. The winner would give themselves a good old chance to get themselves out of the old drop zone. Ending up as a 2-0 win in favour of the Saints. Fulham are in deep trouble. I actually saw it as a 2-1 win in favour of Southampton. And there we go, boys and girls. One of the two scorelines that hit at least 5 for the money, and that was Arsenal 5-1 winners over Bournemouth. And that puts themselves into 4th spot in the league. I actually saw it as a 3-0 win for the Gunners. So not too shabby indeed. Moving on to Crystal Palace up against Manchester United. Obviously, a lot of talk around Manchester United this week about the youngsters and how many injuries they have on the books. End up as a comfortable 3-1 win for Manchester United at Crystal Palace. And I actually saw this one bang on the nose, boys and girls. Bang on the nose. 3-1 win for Manchester. Look at that. Look at that sea of blue and a splash of yellow in there. Liverpool took on Watford as well. And this was a lot of pressure on Liverpool as well going into this. Because if they were to stumble, Manchester City would get control of the Premier League. But Manchester United also, just like Arsenal, smashed 5 past Watford. I actually saw it as a 3-0 win. So not too far off the money as well. Continuing that luscious sea of blue. Manchester City took on West Ham United. Ended up as a boring 1-0 win. A scrappy one in the end. Actually saw it as a 4-1 win for Manchester City. So not got greatest result on that one. But ultimately, I picked the right team that come out on top. I'm wrapping it up. It was a very difficult one, this one. Chelsea actually coming out on top 2-0 winners after the whole drama of the old League Cup final and all that kind of good stuff to take home 3 valuable points as they try to get themselves in the mix of the top 4. I actually saw it as a 1-1 draw. So the 2 results that I picked as draws, if I'd actually had a bit more balls and picked a side, I probably could have had a clean sweep there. But ultimately, 2 wrong answers out of the 10. Anyway, let's kick it on forward to the next week's or this weekend's action. Match day number 29. And what better way to start than a London derby, boys and girls, at Wembley. Spurs against Arsenal. Now, Spurs coming to this game in 3rd spot, though. Losing the past 2, though, up against an Arsenal side that have won 5 of the past 6. And most recently won 3 on the spin. And they're going to make it 4 on the spin, boys. 5-goal thriller at Wembley. But it's going to go in favour of the Gunners. Yes, of course they are. There's them 6-fingered banjo playing weirdos. Burnley up against Crystal Palace. I cannot, for the life of me, put my money on Burnley. No way, Jose. Crystal Palace are a decent side. 14th spot in the table. They've got 30 points on the board. And the last 6 results, they've only lost 2. Meanwhile, Burnley have also just lost to 1 out of the past 6. So it's going to be a tense one. Realistically, if I was a betting man, I'd probably go a draw. But I'm actually going to lean in favour of old boy Roy Hodgson. 2-1 win with the Crystal Palace boys and girls. And it's Brighton Hove Albion up against Huddersfield. Now, this is another relegation 6-pointer. Brighton could get sucked into this vacuum that is relegation talk. Up against the Huddersfield side that they've only won 1 out of the past 6. And those other 5 were defeats. They need a win here. If they're going to get a win, they could climb off the bottom and put Fulham into the deep mess. But I see it as a 1-1 draw, which is not great for Brighton or for Huddersfield, but they need points on the board. Bournemouth up against Manchester City. Obviously, Bournemouth come into this game, haven't won a game in 4 games. Out of the past 4 of them, they've lost 3 of them, drawing just the 1. Meanwhile, Manchester City come into this 4 on the spin, 4 wins on the spin, and so pretty decent shape. I don't see them letting up any resistance on that championship talk. So a 3-1 win for Manchester City. In the end of their Manchester counterparts, Manchester United up against Southampton this weekend. Obviously, valuable win for the Saints this midweek, giving themselves a bit of a chance. They got themselves out of the old drop zone. Up against Manchester United, though, who are, where are they? They're in 5th spot, unbeaten in a whole bunch under Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, but I see that continuing as well. 3-1 win for Manchester United over the Saints. Wolverhampton Wanderers up against Cardiff. Now, Wolves are very, very hodgepodgey at the moment. Actually, haven't won a game in 3, but before that was 3 on the spin. And when they're at Molineux, it's a different kettle of fish. I expect them to get back to winning ways this weekend with a 3-0 win over Cardiff. West Ham United up against Newcastle. Now, another difficult one, this one. West Ham United are in 10th. Newcastle are in 13th. Newcastle actually only lost 1 game in 6, whereas West Ham United have only won 1 game in 6. So it's a bit of a yo-yo form in here. Because it's at West Ham, I'm actually going to go with a 1-1 draw here and give Newcastle a bit of credit, and then maybe, just maybe, that should end possibly some relegation talk for the Toon. Watford up against Leicester City. Now, this is very, very difficult. I'm obviously, new boy Brendan Rodgers coming in now to officially start his campaign up against Watford, one of his old clubs. Now, this is difficult going to Vicarage Road. I'm actually going to go with Watford on this one. A bit of a surprise, 3-2 winners. But ultimately, I think, again, if I am putting my own money on it, I'll probably go a draw. I think he'll do anything to stop a defeat on his first game, but ultimately I think Watford will get it. 3-2 win. They come into this game in 8th spot, though, and out of the past 3 games they've won 2 of them, just the lost one, whereas Leicester, on the flip side, they come into this game in 11th spot, and that was the win. The midweek win was their first win in at least 6 games. So is it going to be a bit of a streak for them? Could they kick on and maybe into the top 10, top 8? We'll have to wait and see. Fulham up against Chelsea is another London affair, but this is only one side in this one, and I see it as a 4-1 win for Chelsea to put the pressure on Manchester United and Arsenal above them. Chelsea go into this game actually won 2 of the past 3. Meanwhile, Fulham come into this with 4 defeats on the spin, so they need to change that. And wrapping it up, we started with a London derby, and we're going to wrap it up with a Merseyside derby. Everton up against Liverpool. Now, Everton come into this fresh off the back of their midweek win, and Liverpool also come into the back of this after their comfortable 5-0 or 5-1 or whatever it was, 5-0 win over Watford. Now, Liverpool come into this with 3 wins out of 6. Everton come into this 2 wins out of 6, and sandwiched in between those 2 wins are 3 defeats. And ultimately, I think they're going to lose this one. 4-2 winners for Liverpool to maintain their top status in the old Premier League. Well, that's pretty much all I've got for you today, folks. If you've enjoyed this video, please give it a good old thumbs up. And if you're new to the channel, smash your subscribe button. Keep you bang up to date with all things Premier League related, Blackburn Rovers related, football related. We're going to all here under one roof. And while I still have you, make sure you drop your own predictions down in the comment section to see how many you can get right. Up against the prediction king, that is me. Obviously, this weekend was absolutely fabulous. 8 predictions out of 10. Pretty much bang on. If I put an accumulator down for that bad boy, I would have made some wonga, boys and girls. But unfortunately, I didn't. Anyway, we go again as well. We'll probably have the next predictions after this. Match day 30 will be on Sunday/Monday. We'll have to wait and see. Anyway, until then, I'm going to let you get out of here. Thumbs up, subscribe. Ciao for now. Thanks again for watching. Please like, share, and most importantly, hit the subscribe button to keep you bang up to date with all things Blackburn Rovers related, Championship related, football related. We've got it all covered right under one roof. And while I still have you, please be sure to check out some of the old videos scattered along here. I hope.